Hey, Alec. Welcome back to the Islands of Fire.
Oh, hello. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there.
Yes,
Yeah.
just a long dive into the water, volcanoes,
Oh, wow. Wow.
erupting.
How was it? Did it go well? Did you have this epic shot where you were in front of a volcano, an erupting volcano, and then it panned out, and you're like, oh, I guess maybe you weren't actually that close to it.
No, it was pretty. It was pretty badass
It
though.
was pretty. Yeah. I mean, it was probably the coolest shot of the season so far. Not gonna lie.
Hmm.
But the fact that was in the first episode.
It was pretty
We haven't
cool.
had much. We haven't had much like fire or eruptions or extra culture. I was expecting a lot more of that to come into
What do
play
you
so
mean? We
far this
had
season. Oh,
Da
yes.
literally
I
last
well, I was
episode.
gonna say we haven't had much culture
We
until
had until
until we
Da
had Da.
arrived.
Da arrived, and Da was
Da,
freaking
that
bomb.
was great. So
That was rigged.
no, Da was great.
Oh, I think you said Da.
What?
That was rigged. I was like, what? Da was rigged, man. He was a rigged character. I was like,
So
he's just a random. He's just a guy.
previously in Survivor Vanuatu, Brady was voted out. We loved Brady. He was great.
Yeah,
Added so much.
he brought so much to the table. It's a shame
Notably
to
being
see.
one of the younger athletic guys. Trademark.
It's amazing because a lot of times it's like I almost feel like sometimes people get dumped in like, oh, they're the old category, or like, oh, they're
Hmm.
the. But this one it's like we get lumped in. I
Yeah, I
say
agree. It
that.
feels like sometimes the younger athletic guys are marginalized in our society.
I was more talking about in Survivor, but now that I think about it, like Amazon had the same thing with the two young guys that got voted out early on the men's tribe. They were like
True,
the
but like I mean, they were young and athletic, but by the nature of that tribe, it was like
yeah.
they were more on the younger side anyway. I feel like
They were more on the younger, and they're more on the goof off side too, not like really strong and athletic.
this one we just happen to have like where the generally older guys outnumber the younger guys, so we don't
Yeah,
get stuck with the white bread, boring boys
yeah.
the whole season.
I'm gonna give him a kung fu chop if we can't get him out
Oh
of
well,
here.
according to John Kay, they're the
Yeah.
guys with the better guys with the better personalities getting voted off. So we're missing
Yeah, I was
out.
like, "What are you talking about, man?" We got some great guys. They're just going away. Oh, well, unfortunately, due probably primarily to some edits and the fact that they don't factor into the season very well. They're very milk toast and dry and boring. So I'm
Yeah,
sorry to say,
I'm
but in
feeling the
terms of what
Fab
we're
Five
seeing,
right now.
I'm
I'm
feeling
feeling it.
Fab Five. I'm feeling Sarge, Chris, Bubba, Rory, and Chad.
I
I'm
feel like they've
feeling it.
all contributed a good amount of personality, like
Chad
to
maybe
some
the
degree. Yeah,
Chad maybe the least so, but
Chad honestly has been reduced to just one leg at this point.
yeah, he's so, that was so bad. I mean, that's just objectifying his leg. I mean, what can you say?
You
They're just
boiled
like
him down to one leg.
it boiled him down to one leg, and now that's all he's good for. Just.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
meanwhile, you got Bubba. Bubba had some emotional moments in the last episode. An emotional moment, I guess you
Got
could
sad
say.
about
And
family. They brought out the musical number for him.
yeah, it was a
Doing
little
his classic
extreme.
track.
Yeah.
Yeah. Women
Um,
won like a match game.
yeah, the Mario Brothers 3 match game is what I called it. They won that. That's when they got Daw. Daw came along. He was belonged to the Vanuatu people, and he came and he basically just like did everything for these women. It was
And
awesome.
they were sad to see him go. That was more
They were
emotional than Bubba's family
it,
moment.
it was because well here's the thing, all the women were like super divided at the beginning of the episode. They were all fighting and being catty, and by the end of the episode, I don't remember if we mentioned this when we probably did on our recap last week, but they were all just like crying and like hugging each other, and like they were also like sad to see him go, and it was like
If they can agree on one thing, it is the
it's
Da.
Daw. Daw is
Da.
Daw is badass. That was basically what you could describe there. Daw just did everything. He was awesome.
So I mean that should help like long term for them. I mean you get a
Yeah,
lot of where
he
all
get
this food is. You
those
can
food.
right
Yeah,
around them.
yeah. You don't have to fish. It's like he's got sugar cane.
Little
You got
tips for
friggin'
making a better sleeping.
you get roots here. Yeah, he like fixed up their sleep situation. So yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
great.
So ultimately, like Brady got voted out.
Yep.
So far, the people voted out. We haven't lost too much. We lose some of them were boring people. And Dolly with her sideways cat.
Dolly with her cute hat, and that was about it.
So that's the most tragic loss so far.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes from here. Also, they did show the Sarge and Rory are feuding. That's heating up every day.
Yes, every day.
Not enjoying each other's company, but it's all right.
And John Kay seems like he was trying to, like... Was it John Kay that said he was trying to, like, force that out a little more? One of the younger guys said that. I don't remember if it was him. No, it wasn't him. It was...
John P. at one point did that when he was around.
Yeah.
He said that.
Oh, that's right.
But, I mean, I think that's probably what Brady was doing. That's like the only angle they could play is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Brady talked to Sarge and was.
Yeah.
And was.
Right,
talking
that was
about
it. He was
Rory
trying to, talking about Rory, but
it's like
because Sarge was like, I value him the most. I value him. He's such a hard worker. He does everything I tell him to do. It's like
Chris was like, yeah, we don't need to do this right now.
Yeah.
Don't worry about Rory.
Yeah.
All right, so if you want to see the highlights of our reaction to this episode, click the link in the description and come back at the end for the discussion.
Yeah, see you then.
I had heard somewhere that he said that he put on his votes, it was like the name of his kid or something.
Oh, yeah?
So it was like Simon. I think it was like Simon.
Simon?
Unless there was a letter I couldn't see there, but...
Okay.
So it was like a little shout out to his kid's name.
That's cute.
Or was it Simone?
Simone, maybe. Maybe it's Simone. Yeah, maybe. That's kind of cute.
Well, that was the end of Bubba as we know him.
Yeah, but started the episode Bubba being sick of men, and boy, I think he ate those words pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's tired of the men, and then he's thrust into the women, and then he blows it.
He blew it pretty freaking fast.
No.
Yeah, he was even the one that even said, it's like, boy, you got to be careful what you say around the women, or else you're going to be gone.
Seemed pretty impenetrable. The only maneuvering he could have done is just like get Rory voted out instead of him. But he just really made it easy for them to decide. He whispers over to Chris, think about the merge.
Yeah, like what? Think about the like.
No, I get it. His point is valid. That if they are thinking in that way, they could just throw, and then they have the numbers over there, right?
Yeah.
Sarge, Chris, Chad. They have two women over there, so it's the opposite.
So you can get rid of some of the women there and keep the tribe strong, but.
But he could have just had a little more finesse with it. His point was right. You just can't be so brazen about it. Now.
Yeah, like think about like what could have potentially happened if it was like him and Rory going into the woods, so they had time alone with two of the other tribe members. If it turned out that way.
Mm. What is the?
You could have potentially had some sort of communication there, rather than like out in the open where everyone can hear you.
What's the reasoning behind throwing versus not throwing? You think why didn't they throw?
I don't know why they wouldn't throw.
Just because you don't want to Well, first of all, Sarge, I feel like is just the team guy. He's gonna go for it every time.
Sarge is gonna go for it. Sarge, I don't think is the type that would want to throw.
But I guess there is the fact that it's you never want to go there because then there's always the chance that you could get voted out, even if it's not likely.
Right.
It could flip on you somehow. But if you really had such strong faith in your guys' tribe that you've been with this whole time, then it would seem like an easy decision. Yeah. But maybe it's well, we like Twyla and Julie. Maybe we can foster these relationships for further down the line.
As we can see in the next episode, Julie's getting pretty comfortable.
Love Julie.
Yeah, she's a beautiful, beautiful woman.
Any idiot can see that.
Any idiot could see that. Yeah.
What else did they show the preview? Oh yeah, Rory's making some sort of speech.
Where it's basically, I think he's doing I'm not doing any work until you guarantee that I'm getting through the merge.
Mm-hmm.
Which is I don't know how they could possibly do that, because they could just say, oh yeah, sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they could say yes, sir, and then if they get out, then he goes. It's it was just well, I'm not providing any food or anything. It's they already know how to find everything. or I'm not doing work around camp, but it's like they seem to have been doing pretty okay after Daw told them. Yeah. But after Daw told them like what to do, seemed like they've been doing pretty well.
Yeah, I'm not they had men for a couple days. It's not like they're so dependent on it now, you know. It's like, we need him to lift a huge
you need log. A man to show you what to do. Okay.
So I mean, they showed in the beginning, which ultimately didn't amount to anything really, but they showed how they were having conflict with Bubba. I guess they just wanted to give us all the Bubba content, but they were having conflict with Bubba over where they're sitting next to the fire. Bubba had the prime seating.
But that's where Bubba said, "I'm sick of men."
Yeah, I'm sick of men at this point.
Sick of men. Getting sick of it. All the testosterone.
We had the chiefs. So the Vanuatu people came over and they told them to pick a chief. So we got Sarge and Scout. Pretty straightforward. We could have seen that one coming. But
could have seen it coming. The olds.
And then we had Earthquake. Straight up Earthquake happening. So that was a nice little moment.
It was awesome. I thought it was really cool.
It was cool. They captured it like she was in the middle of a confessional.
Yeah, middle of
the raw reaction.
I was like, whoa. And it was like, and then it got like really big. So it was like, that's pretty exciting. Yeah.
And then they were competing for Pringles and beer in this challenge, but
so I just called that dive deep.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how you can call it.
Oh, but right before this is when they divided. So Scout divided the tribes, and then Sarge picked which tribe he would go on. So we ended up with Yes Sir being Bubba, Rory, Eliza, Amy, Lisa, Scout, and Leanne. And LePevy, Sarge, Twyla, Chris, Chad, Julie, and John. So Yes Sir, we had 5 women, 2 men, and LePevy, we had 4 men, 2 women. So yeah, I mean, by the nature of them losing that challenge, it does tip the scales in the women's favor for sure now.
Yeah, big time.
Because didn't they already have the advantage in numbers? 7. Yeah, they already had the advantage of 7 women, 6 men, and now it'll be 7 women, 5 men total. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so looking before the merge, it's starting to look pretty dicey at the moment for the men.
Because if they lose again, it seems to be an easy vote Rory for them, and then because they seem to be pretty solid, at least with how Amy's running things. She don't want any of that.
She's like, well, I just go with the boss. And I was like, you're the one running the show, girl. It seems like.
But she doesn't want them to know that.
It's interesting because it's like ever since John Kay did that, like because she kind of seemed like she just sort of did whatever. But ever since John Kay did that, it seems like she's sort of taken a leadership role.
Well,
she didn't necessarily have that before.
He was just seeing what.
Well, he picked her because she was the least confrontational person. No one's gonna vote for her. People like her. Well, it wasn't necessarily that she was the leader.
She was the least in danger of going, so she seemed to be in the most secure position, at least from there.
So I guess in a way that does kind of help make her kind of indicate that she's sort of a de facto leader.
She's queen. She's the Scout is just the
figurehead.
Yeah.
She's the queen while
similar to how we were thinking before with Sarge, whereas Chris is more the
mastermind
behind it.
Yeah, and Sarge is kind of the
figurehead,
the face of it. Yeah.
And they had a nice little waterfall scene. That was a nice little area.
Yeah, it looked like it was really lovely and nice.
You get some cool variety in shots, compared to like, I think this is definitely more memorable in appearance than like last season with All Stars, where it was just it's just a beach really.
Yeah, it's just kind of a beach. Yeah, I mean they just have these really nice shots of the volcano, like whether it's just like in the distance. I think I was commenting earlier before we reacted, or maybe even before we started recording, that I wasn't necessarily remembering it being very memorable. It hadn't been a whole lot of memorable stuff on the cinematography side. This episode changed all that for me, in my opinion, at least from what I can remember. A lot more memorable shots, really interesting locations. The earthquake was really cool. It was like a moment captured in time. They got some plumes coming out from the volcano due to the earthquake. It was cool. It was cool stuff.
We also got once Rory and Bubba came with the women in the new tribe. Lisa wanted to show them the cool little coconut chop, and Amy was like, "No, we don't have to be cool for them. It's
Yeah.
Basically, like, let's keep these trade secrets to ourselves, kind of thing.
Yeah, which is like, what does it matter if they're going home?
I know. Well, and also it's like eventually you're gonna live with them, like at some point. Like, what are you gonna save a couple days where they don't know your tricks?
Yeah, it's
you're
like
gonna hide it from them when you're merged. You're not gonna see you chopping the coconut.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was weird. It was like, that was to me where I was like, oh, Amy's like kind of weird.
But
she has like a weird like,
but she's like
god
hardcore
complex
about it. She's like,
yeah.
Yeah. We don't need to tell them our secrets. This is our advantage. We'll take any advantage we can get. That kind of thing.
It's
She's
like,
cold.
Yeah, it's
Ice
like,
cold.
hey, ice queen over here.
Love it.
Love it.
And then
Eliza still being just a straight cutie.
Right. But now you acknowledge Julie's beauty.
Julie's gorgeous. Great. What a gorgeous woman.
I know. Yeah. I'm in love.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
I'll say it.
I'll say it. Someone's here. Someone here's gonna say it. It might as well be me.
So Peppy wins. Unfortunately, it's like not a good situation for Bubba to just say think about the merge.
Think about the merge. Yeah.
It would be very interesting if they won that. It would be a completely different ball game. You'd have
not the rigging. That's
literally the opposite. You'd probably, I'm assuming you'd have just one of the women out of the two, so it would be like that pair struggling to not be the one voted out.
Yeah.
Instead.
Yeah. Yeah, they played a challenge. They did a challenge called Not the Rigging, which is they had to go like run into the jungle, unknot like an outrigger parts of an outrigger canoe. Yeah. And they had to like run back, assemble the canoe, and then they had to like go grab a thing out, a buoy or something, and then they had to go and ram the outrigger canoe into their like stopper at the end.
Mm-hmm. These challenges fine. Most of these kinds of challenges don't really do much for me. I'm just kind of like, I'm only really concerned about the result. It's like, this is all yada,
it just seemed like physically taxing. Like it was two physically taxing challenges in a row. Is like that diving one is like, that's using so much friggin' core strength and arm strength even too. We're using and then the you had to use like cardio. You had to use friggin' arm strength, leg strength. You'd use everything in this one. This challenge. I was like, geez, like give him a little bit of a break here. Maybe next week's when we watch the next episode, maybe they'll give him a little bit more of a break. We'll see. So
we got Bubba voted out. How do you feel about Bubba? Are you gonna miss him and his Bob Barker shirt?
I miss him and his Bob Barker shirt already. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna name Bubba my MVP because
MVP.
Yeah. I think he's getting my MVP, and the reason why is because he was trying to do something interesting. He just got caught. It was a stupid move. It was a bad move, but he made for the most interesting content of the episode. So,
Julie already looking like the front runner.
Julie's
next episode.
Julia's front runner next episode easily. Yeah, from the preview. Yeah. Hey, I'm a simple man, you know.
Hey, we got 5 episodes of Bob Barker on Survivor. So
that's right. Bob Barker made it on Survivor. I also like the fact that like he could wear that because it's a CBS show.
Well, it's a person.
Yeah, it's a person. I don't know.
Did they have to like get Bob Barker himself to sign off on that? I don't know.
Did it have? Yeah, I doubt it. Well, I guess it didn't technically say the Price is Right or anything on it. It was just Bob Barker.
Can you have just a picture of any celebrity and bring it out?
Can I just go out there with a Drew kit? Can I go out there with this shirt with Admiral Akbar?
Definitely.
Jean-Luc Picard with Vader. Yeah. They'd probably be like, nah, it's legal issues up the wazoo there. CBS owns Star Trek though, so that's something.
They blur out the other characters.
Yeah, it's just like, whoa, is he showing nip? Like, what's going on there? Like, could
you just have a shirt that just says like Patrick Stewart on it, and there's a picture of him.
There's a picture of Patrick Stewart on the shirt.
I don't know.
I was thinking now Drew Carey. It would be a similar thing now because he's Price is Right.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Drew Carey's beard, by the way?
I haven't.
He's got like a huge, thick white beard. And I was like, This is off-putting to me.
It sounds off-putting.
Yeah, I was not expect caveman Drew Carey to look like a Yeti. But anyway.
So
sad to see Bubba go, but he made a pretty dumb move there.
How many people we got now? We got 7 and 7 women, 5 men, right? So it's 12. What's usually the amount that we go into merge with?
Well, so typically when there's 16 contestants, it's around 10.
10, yeah.
Yeah.
So we might have still a couple more rounds to go.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
So
I mean, Jeff did say
for the minorities.
Thinking about merge. Obviously Bubba's thinking about merge too because he made that stupid comment. So yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So Bubba will take an MVP out the door with him because he's not getting any more.
He's just see you, Bubba. Good for you.
So do you think should we make it eligible for the final tribal for one of them to win the MVP from the jury? They come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the final tribal, I think people who aren't playing the game that are because you can make a whole episode there.
Or like the reunion episode, they could have a memorable
reunion MVP at the reunion.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need to do that. I mean, maybe I don't know. Whoever makes the most interesting comments or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with that, it would make sense because like Sue would have absolutely won the year one's MVP of that. Like Snakes and Rats is like one of the greatest speeches in Survivor. I mean, we'll say it every time I mention it. It's like one of the greatest speeches in Survivor history. It's awesome.
Yeah, so she could have been the MVP of the episode.
Yeah.
But see, the pre-jury people could only win on the reunion after they get voted out. They could win an MVP in reunion.
Yeah, they could.
They have to be really clever in that one question.
In the one question, the throwaway that they get, that John P gets. John P, you look like you were like straight up ready to murder Bubba. What was that all about?
John P just kills it with the one sentence he says, and then it's like, wow, John P, the MVP, the last episode we watched.
I mean, I would have given it. Last season. I would have given it to. I would have given it to Rudy for that one statement. I know, guys. I have friends.
Yeah.
You better watch his back. I was like, wow, that was at the very end of the episode. That was hysterical.
Yeah, I think we should give it MVPs for literally every episode. So then there's the final tally, and then it's like someone could really make the difference in that reunion.
Yeah, they could do it. They could do. Who knows? Yeah.
All right.
Could be amazing. All right.
Come back next week for more Survivor Vanuatu. It's every week, baby.
We'll be doing it. We'll be doing more. So, Zach, what video should the fine watchers of this reaction go check out?
It's got to be something related to Bubba. We did not review Forrest Gump yet.
No.
That would be my go-to. Something related to shooting yourself in the foot, because Bubba said that comment, or review of Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile.
We haven't pumped it in a while, but it was one of the first things we reviewed on the channel.
I thought I was going to bring it up like every other episode.
Yeah, we should still. We need to start bringing it up again. Yeah, I mean, it was an early thing we reviewed, and we had a good time.
Very early. It's like, I remember the movie. I don't remember the review though. I wonder what our discussion was really like. It's been a while.
It was short. It was shorter than most of our discussions, I think.
Yeah.
We talk about movies way longer now than
we were shorter back then.
Yeah. We've grown up. Yeah. We've just increased in stature.
Oh man. All right. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed. Like the video. Leave a comment. Hit the notification bell. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook at Tarqaron TWO.
That's right.
Yes, sir.